So our final storyteller tonight is Abby Graham. She lives on Iuka in 2007. She moved to Iuka in 2007. She's a paraeducator at Indian Hill Primary School. I know Abby because she's also one of the queens of youth soccer. Super grateful for all her volunteer work there. And her story is entitled Large Trash Day Adventures.
Not everyone comes, talking about large trash pickup day. It has been one of my favorite days in Madeira since I moved in. I moved in, I remembered I just moved in, I was putting stuff out to the curb, and these people would just come by, and I was like, this is amazing. And then as I started watching, it became like my favorite night of the year. I would see the pickers come through with their mounds of trash. And I'm like, how are they going to fit a bicycle up there? And so year after year, I would text my parents, who wants to come over for large trash pickup day? And they're like, you're just watching the pickers. I'm like, it's my favorite night of the year. I didn't think it could get any better than that. I mean, getting rid of the trash is fun, but it was actually more fun for me to just watch the people drive through. I mean, there were walkie-talkies, there were the scouts coming through. And I didn't think it could get any better until I found some neighbors that also thought it was their favorite night of the year. And they invited us over, and they're like, we're going to sit in the driveway and watch. I was like, this is amazing. So I went down there, we packed up our cooler, of course, our chairs, take the kids, and we're like, we're going down the street to watch large trash pickup night this year. So we will time the people that come through, we'll time, how long do you think this is going to last at the curb? And so we'll place bets on whose item lasts at the curb the longest. One time someone was throwing away a basketball hoop. And so we were like, well, let's take the basketball hoop. And we put it out. The kids play basketball all night. And then the next morning, it's gone. We don't even have to worry about it. One night we were sitting out and our neighbors come walking down the street. And there's two of them walking down the street with a table. And we're like, what is going on? They're like, well, my daughter needs a table. We're like, well, we need a table for tonight at our large trash pickup night party. So we put the table out and we all sit around the table. And then at the end of the night, they take it home and give it to their daughter. And then we also found someone was getting rid of a box of Barbies. And yep. So I think this kind of flashed back to my high school and college days when I loved toilet paper in people's houses. And so it kind of went to, we had this box of Barbies and one of our neighbors was out of town. So not only did they miss all the fun of large trash pickup night, but their backyard was wide open. So the adults are all sitting around, watching the pickers. And we're like, hey, kids, everyone, take these Barbies down and you can make a Barbie dream house in the Brunings' backyards. We're like, go down to the Brunings, take the Barbies. So they basically created a Barbie dream house in their backyard. And I'm pretty sure to this day, they're still finding Barbie pieces and they're soccer goals, they're bushes, they're everywhere. They weren't too happy, but we thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. So joining my neighbors in some type of a, large trash pickup day or any type of event, honestly, 5 years ago would not have even crossed my mind. When I moved to Madeira in 2007, I knew no one. I had people that would give me a hard time, why are you moving to Madeira? What are you doing there? It's just, a bunch of people not your age. And I was like, it's a safe neighborhood. I am single with my dog and my cat, and we're going to go there and have a great time. So slowly, I met my husband, we met neighbors across the street. Well, then those neighbors would move away. So I'd have to meet new neighbors. And I would drive down the Mingos. And I'm like, oh, what a great street. I'm like, they have Thirsty Thursdays. We don't do anything. And then I would drive down Maple Leaf and they also do a Thirsty Thursday. And I was like, oh, these are I want to live on one of these streets. I'm like, but I'm not going to move anywhere. So I finally met another neighbor that moved in, and she and I kind of shared this similar dream of having a street that did things like that. So in 2019, pre-COVID, no idea what's coming up, we decided we are going to make this a good street. So we started our own weekly street gatherings. We picked a day of the week. We decided to go with Wednesday because on our street, the people that host or that run the farmers market live on our street. And I was like, that's not very nice to do it on Thursday. So I was like, let's do Wednesdays. So we picked Wednesday. We found a logo online and we made some flyers, some paper flyers. We started a Facebook page. We put our Facebook page on the flyers and I handed some flyers to the kids and we hit every single house on the street. We have maybe 75 houses. So we hit, the young, the old, the wallflowers, everyone got a flyer because I said, if they don't have Facebook, they're not going to know who we are. And we wanted everyone to feel that they were welcome. That we were going to have this, street gathering like the Mingos. We wanted to be like Charlie Street. So that Wednesday, we had our first Wednesday watering hole. And we put the sign in the Bruning's front yard, the one that since has had the Barbies in their backyard. We put the sign in their front yard. We put out a table. We put out some chips, some pretzels, some water. We sat out some chairs and we just sat there and waited. And slowly people started coming to our first Wednesday watering hole gathering. And that was the very first one we had. Since then, we started moving it. So we rotate it like the Mingos do. We rotate it to different houses. And we did find that by rotating it, people that might not have otherwise come will come if it's right next door. Like you can't not come. If you drive home, you pull in your garage, even if you want to shut the garage, they're sitting in your front yard, basically. Like our houses are close together. You can't get away from that. So people had to come. And so the more we moved it, the more people would come. We also do name tags because most people, I can't remember everyone's name, but I also feel like if I met you last week, I want to be able to address you by name next week, even if I've forgotten it. So the name tags have been really helpful. We still do our Wednesday watering hole. We did it all through COVID. We sat really far apart. And honestly, COVID was my favorite time because no one had anywhere to be. So our watering holes would go until like 10, 11 at night. And it was just the most fun. My favorite during COVID was when the Mad Tree truck came coming down the street and they were like delivering beer. It was like an ice cream truck, but for adults. It was really fun. We were all out there waiting in line. So that was really fun. But since then, not only do we have our Wednesday watering hole, we also do a block party. We haven't had a band yet, but maybe one day we'll get a band. Where did Scott go? Yes, hopefully one day Scott will get a band. We do now walking pub crawls, so we'll organize a pub crawl, and we can walk everywhere in Madeira, so we don't have to drive. So we all meet at someone's house and we walk and we go to all the restaurants in Madeira and then eventually make our way home. We do an annual chili cook-off in October, November-ish, and everyone brings some chili. We now do euchre nights and game nights, and we have honestly in the last 5 years created more memories than I can even count. And the kids have now become such good friends because we have started doing this. None of the kids really even knew that there were other kids on the street until we started doing this. And now it's like they just, they come home from school and the minute they come home, they're out, they're down the street. We all know each other. They're in somebody's backyard. When we're doing watering hole, they are playing tag. They're playing ghost in the graveyard. They're playing soccer in somebody's backyard. Hide and go seek. We get glow necklaces. We have so many pictures with glow necklaces and all of them playing. And then when we do game nights, the kids will all go to some, in the basement and they'll watch a movie and eat pizza together. Other days, they're riding their scooters up and down the streets and playing basketball and frisbee and tennis. And it's so nice that I feel like the kids have created lifelong friends, as have we. So I will say that because we have started this, I am so grateful for all of my neighbors who have now turned friends. I would wager to guess that we have one of the best streets in Madeira, even though it's got the worst name. But it is still a fantastic street, and anyone driving down on a Wednesday afternoon, usually Memorial Day through Labor Day, is welcome to join one of our watering holes. Ayuka. The street name is Ayuka with an I, not an L. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Awesome. I did not realize that large item pickup day spectating was a thing. I love it. Absolutely love it. So new hobby. Thank you, Abby. I'll head to your house for a large item pickup day. I do think that as a city, this is probably one of the biggest scams we put on our citizens, that we claim like it's a service we're providing. I swear they don't fill a truck like of stuff that's actually still left after the pay. It's mostly just we advertise so people come pick it up and we say like we did it, and like we kind of like don't tell Mike, our city manager, I said that. They did great. And the thing, my little nugget from Abby is like, let's make our street the fun street. Like, what a cool idea, right? It's a fun street because you make it that way. Not, you don't move into one, you create it every day. So love it, love it, love it.